Welcome to the IREL podcast. Are you sick and tired of real estate gurus pitching their next free construction deal, only to find out years later they were completely wrong? Worried the next overseas conference you spend thousands to attend will only be used to sell overpriced lots in deserted developments? Join thousands of other international real estate seekers who are looking for their place in paradise without the sales pitch. Straight from your host, Taylor White.
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 13 of the IREL podcast. I am your host, Taylor White. I am simply thrilled to sit down and speak with Larry Peterson from New Horizon Technologies in Juan Dolio, Dominican Republic, and we'll get down and dirty with the Juan Dolio real estate scene and have you coming away wanting to investigate its local property market further or cross it off your short list entirely and continue listening. Right now from Larry, you will learn why someone who devoted his time to the juvenile courts in Chicago, Illinois, decided to make a change and ended up in Juan Dolio starting not one but two local charities. The exact reasons he chose the smaller beach town of Juan Dolio versus other internationally recognized locations like Punta Cana, where he sees the local real estate market going over the next few years and how you can profit. The exact target cost per meter you might expect to pay without getting ripped off. A great strategy when helping my grandma buy real estate and much more. And don't forget, if you are listening to this podcast and want to grab Larry's contact details, links on buying or selling Juan Dolio real estate, or any other show notes, head on over to irelpodcast.com/13. That's irelpodcast.com/13. Grab yourself a Presidente beer, light your favorite hand-rolled cigar, and get in the mood to listen about Dominican Republic real estate. In case you can't tell, I'm excited. Let's get Larry on the phone. Hey Larry, it's Taylor White. I'm excited to have you on the IREL podcast today, straight from Juan Dolio, Dominican Republic. So we can get to know you personally. Tell us about yourself and where your stomping grounds were before you ended up in Juan Dolio.
Well, I'm originally from the U.S., more specifically Chicago, Illinois, with ancestral roots in the Dominican Republic. My mom was born here.
Awesome, Larry. And so we can get a better idea of you professionally, give us your brief resume leading up to working at New Horizon Technologies real estate company.
Okay. Well, I worked 22 years with Cook County Juvenile Courts in Chicago and 3 years with the Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice in Joliet, Illinois, as a warden. In my spare time, I bought and sold real estate in the Chicagoland area. I also developed and organized two charities, Kevin McPhillamy and Helping Hands Foundation, to help disadvantaged children in the Chicagoland area. Now that I'm living in the Dominican Republic, I found time to start and organize another charity, the Imagine Oneness Foundation. Awesome foundation. Needs a lot of help. This foundation also helps children, but in the Dominican Republic in IT. Interested parties, you can check out our website at www.imagineonenessfoundation.com and feel free to give a donation.
Great, Larry. Now we are getting more familiar with who you are both on a personal and professional level. Let's start to dig into your journey just a little bit. Take us back to your mindset. What were some of the reasons why you decided to look at other countries to begin with years ago, and then maybe which countries you were considering before choosing the DR?
As previously mentioned, my mother's from the Dominican Republic, and I couldn't find a better reason not to settle in the land of my mother's birthplace and be amongst family and friends. Besides, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump from the good old US of A, the land of my birth and beloved country.
Larry, listeners and I are always fascinated to learn about which countries people have considered and why. Now, let's delve deeper into the DR as a whole and then why you chose Juan Dolio in particular versus other popular DR locations like Punta Cana and Samana.
Hey, Taylor, did you know that the Dominican Republic is the second largest island in the Caribbean? Cuba is number one. Just a tad bit of geography info for you. Anyway, I previously lived and worked in Santo Domingo, the capital of the Dominican Republic, but moved to Juan Dolio and started my own real estate business, New Horizon Technologies, also known as NHT. I chose Juan Dolio because it's an easy-going lifestyle and friendly beach town to a lot of people with lots of restaurants, beachfront restaurants as well, 24-hour international medical center, beauty salon and spas, barbershops, casino, gymnasium, spelunking, scuba diving, horseback riding, baseball games, and much more. I also identified a lack of services in this area to assist foreigners who don't speak Spanish or were not familiar with buying real estate in the Dominican Republic. Moreover, Juan Dolio is shaping itself to become pearl of the Caribbean, sort of like Miami, with its beachfront condos and water sports activities, etc. What a place to vacation in. Also, Juan Dolio is only 45 minutes from the capital, where you could always have an enjoyable time in a metropolitan city that offers numerous things such as shopping, sightseeing, a whole host of restaurants, local and ethnic, and much more.
Larry, I have spent considerable time in Santo Domingo and Las Terrenas with a few stops in Juan Dolio, so I can relate to some of the things you are talking about. Through my travels, I am a firm believer in that I either get a place or I don't. Share with us some reasons why Juan Dolio speaks to you.
As a broker and owner of New Horizon Technologies Real Estate Division here in Juan Dolio, I believe prices of condos and villas are very affordable compared to other places in the Dominican Republic. For example, you can purchase a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom penthouse with a fantastic Caribbean sea view and 3 minutes walking to the beach for only $200,000 or a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo right across the street from the beach for only $140,000. We even have beachfront condos going for as little as $200,000. Unheard prices, you never heard of these type of low prices anywhere else here in the Dominican Republic.
Wow, Larry, we have gotten to know you both personally and professionally, reasons why you chose the DR and why Juan Dolio speaks to you. But get ready, because now it's time for us to pick your brain on the local real estate scene and to get the juices flowing. We're going to do a quick round of what I like to call the real estate hot seat. We'll ask you 5 rapid-fire questions, and you give me an answer in 15 seconds or less each. Larry, are you ready for the Juan Dolio hot seat?
Let's get it on.
All right. What currency is real estate priced in?
Dominican pesos and U.S. dollars.
Is owning property as a foreigner legal?
Yes, it is legal and safe. Laws are in place to protect foreigners from losing their land to government and others.
Can property be titled?
All properties are titled in the Dominican Republic, and the land are divided legally via GPS tracking surveying system and to the Dislindy Law of January 1, 2010.
Can money flow in and out of the DR easily, or are there currency restrictions?
Not really. The maximum you can take out of the country is $10,000 U.S. dollars. Pesos are available, but there's not really much you can do with them outside the borders of the Dominican Republic.
And as listeners know, Larry, my number one question, what is your favorite local drink?
Presidente Light Beer.
Yes, the hand-rolled cigars are also phenomenal in the DR, I'd like to add. Okay, Larry, you can now relax, but just a little bit, as you are off the Juan Dolio hot seat, but it's time to zero in on the local real estate scene. Give us your brief synopsis on the Juan Dolio real estate market over the last few years, where it is today, and then where you see it heading for the next few years.
In the past 4 years, I watched the dirt roads of Juan Dolio transform into asphalt and concrete roads. I also watched the development of numerous high-rise buildings, all at cost of investors who poured hundreds of millions of U.S. dollars into those construction projects. Today, the streets of Juan Dolio are lined with magnificent condominiums such as the Hemingway, Costa del Sol, and Marbella, along with an abundance of ethnic and local restaurants and other thriving businesses. In addition, Juan Dolio has Pinewood Indomina Studio, a British film and television company who are producers of such films as Pirates of the Caribbean, James Bond, and other notable known films. Pinewood Indomina Studio in Juan Dolio offers, it equals new jobs and new housing for people in this area. I anticipate a 15 to 20% increase in Juan Dolio real estate market within the next few years as a result of Pinewood's existence.
Larry, you have us sold on the DR as a country, Juan Dolio as a location, and then its real estate outlook within the near future. Of course, you don't have a crystal ball. I sure as heck don't. No one does. But that is why I think it's so vitally important to get on-the-ground insight from local real estate professionals. And yes, I just used the words local and on-the-ground in the same sentence to drive home a very important fact. Larry, you are not some newsletter writer who might spend a few days in Juan Dolio and then send out emails with hot buys calling yourself an international real estate guru. You are there in the trenches on a daily basis, dealing with local buyers, sellers, agents, lawyers, and every facet of the real estate business. Larry, break this down even further for us. Pretend you were Google Maps or Google Street View. What streets, neighborhoods, or parts of the city are we talking about in Juan Dolio?
Juan Dolio is situated on the southeastern part of the country, about 45 minutes outside of Santo Domingo, capital of the Dominican Republic. If driving from Santo Domingo, head eastbound to the Autopista Las Americas, which is a highway, and you'll see the sign DR3. Keep on that until you arrive at the highway sign Boulevard Juan Dolio. Once on Boulevard Juan Dolio, you'll pass the town of Guayacanes, and afterwards into the town of Juan Dolio. Here, you will pass a Shell gas station on the left side of the road, come to the only stoplight in Juan Dolio, and pass Metro Country Club, also on the left side of the road. Continue to pass Metro Country Club for about 500 meters until you come to the Banco Popular sign. Turn left at the sign and continue 25 meters to Banco Popular. You have now reached the main road part of Juan Dolio.
Larry, now that we have specific locations in mind, what types of properties do you recommend? And first, let me give you a few brief examples of what I mean. Are we talking about buying pre-construction units for capital appreciation that we later flip? Are we talking about buying completed apartments, houses, or office spaces to generate rental income? Or are we talking about buying land to either sell as is or subdivide into smaller tracts? Larry, give us a better idea of what you are talking about and recommending today.
Juan Dolio is a beach town where people come to relax and leave their worries behind. My focus in the real estate market here in Juan Dolio deals mostly with selling beachfront condos, villas with swimming pools and jacuzzi, and land that people can build a retirement or vacation property on.
Okay, Larry, now I'm going to hit you up with a two-part question that I know everyone wants to know, and you have to give us a general range. So we have some price points in mind. Here they are. Part one, what would be the price range of what we are talking about? Maybe give us a starting price point at the low end to a final price point at the high end. And Larry, just to clarify, I am talking about total purchase price.
Okay. $110,000 can get you a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condos, as I mentioned before, about 3 minutes walking distance to the beach. And for as high as $380,000, you can get a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom villa in a gated community, and only 5 minutes driving to the beach. New or fairly new construction.
Okay, Larry, and let's transition to a part two. What would be the cost per meter? Again, maybe a starting price point at the low end to a final price point at the high end, just for a general range.
For a general range, I would say that at the low end, it's somewhere around $600 per square meter, and on the high end, about $1,100 per square meter.
And for listeners like me who are used to dealing in square feet, divide the number you hear by 10.76, or maybe just a flat 10 to keep it easy, and you get close enough numbers to get an idea to what Larry is referring to. Okay, Larry, this is a question I like to call, what would Grandma do? My grandma calls you up, says she has X amount of dollars to spend. You know, you can't let my grandma down. Share with us 2 specific examples you would show her and explain why these make sense.
First, I would take into consideration that Grandma's budget is limited and show her properties that's within her buying means. For example, Grandma has $75,000 to buy a 2-bedroom condo, but I'll show her a good affordable condo for $55,000, saving Grandma $20K. Another opportunity or option would be to offer Grandma a property amidst other seniors or retirees that get a discount on properties for investing in the Dominican Republic. That could also save Grandma money while not having to spend all of her budget. You get me?
Absolutely, Larry. We are laser focused on specific areas of Juan Dolio. We know our starting price point. We have an idea of cost per meter. We have 2 specific examples which are good enough even for Grandma. Now, let me ask you an obvious question. How do we buy? Do we need to come in with all cash, whether that's from our checking account, home equity line of credit, or retirement funds, or come in with a certain percentage down and get local financing from a bank or credit union?
The process for purchasing property in the Dominican Republic is fairly straightforward, especially if you are Dominican. Their success rate of getting loans is a lot better than a foreigner. However, if you are a foreigner, I'd say pay cash if you can. If not, make sure you have excellent credit before applying for a loan here in the Dominican Republic. A lot of foreigners come over here to try and get a loan, but bring a bad credit history with them. Just because this is the Dominican Republic does not mean your credit can't be checked internationally. One good advantage foreigners have, if they are approved, is good interest rate due to the possession of dollars and euros. Considering a lot of Dominican banks have a high interest rate, Scotiabank of Canada gives 6% to foreigners, while Banesco of the Dominican Republic charges 8%, both requiring about 30% deposit down.
Okay, Larry, anyone who has ever owned real estate can tell you, you need to have a money exit strategy in place even before you buy. It's something what I like to call, where's the cheddar? You are buying the property to do what with it to make some money. So, Larry, where's my cheddar?
You can have your cheddar as a free way. One way would be to buy a vacation rental condo here in Juan Dolio and have my company, New Horizon Technology, manage and rent it out for you during the downtime. Or buy an apartment cheap and flip it for more than what you paid for. Or buy some land and use it for farming purposes, agriculture or fishery. Both have a great demand and income value here in the Dominican Republic.
Larry, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to share with us about Juan Dolio Real Estate. We have heard about your journey, why you chose the DR, exact areas of Juan Dolio to focus on, price points to look out for, specific examples good enough even for Grandma, a money strategy to purchase, and then what we might do with it after the fact to make some cheddar. Unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye. But before we do, share with us easy ways to get a hold of you, any parting advice you might want to share, and then let's say goodbye.
If your listeners have questions or are looking to invest in the Dominican Republic, feel free to contact my company, New Horizon, that's NU, Horizon Technologies, at 809-385-4328, or email us at info@newhorizontechnologies.com. We'll be more than happy to take time to assist you. We also cover other areas on the island outside of Juan Dolio, if you need our assistance beyond the borders of Juan Dolio.
Awesome, Larry. I have really enjoyed this conversation, straight from Juan Dolio to our earbuds, and I hope we can catch up again in 3 to 6 months.
Taylor, I want to thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to share with your listeners very important information about Juan Dolio and my company, New Horizon Technology. Look forward to giving you the 411 on Juan Dolio in the next 6 months or so.
I want to thank Larry once again for his awesome take being on the ground in Juan Dolio, Dominican Republic. If you are listening to this podcast and want to grab Larry's contact details, links on buying or selling Juan Dolio real estate, or any other show notes, head on over to irelpodcast.com/13. Have you checked out what resources I use in my real estate toolbox? Whether you're looking for a fast and secure way to send real estate contracts, a fantastic way of making property videos, the best way to make international calls for free, or great sites for vacation rentals, it's all there. And the best part, it's completely free. Just head on over to irelpodcast.com/13 to get started.
You have been listening to the IREL Podcast with Taylor White. Be sure to hit up IRELpodcast.com for more. That's IRELpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.